painting, square around. I'm glad you are around. Grab your plate, grab your wax, get ready to sit back and relax. Don't see you're single, whatever your niche. Here is your host, a guy named Rich.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome on in. Happy Sunday, July 6th. Happy Sunday to everyone. I moved my tablet there and my picture went all crazy, but hey, whatever. It's been one of those days where just like nothing is going really right. It's like frustrating. But we're here and we're going to, I titled this Smack the Sunday Scaries because I knew that this weekend, after the 3-day weekend, I personally was going to have the Sunday Scaries. And I know that a couple of you have mentioned in the past that it's, fun to have these on Sunday afternoons to help with the Sunday Scaries. So here we are. Let's kick the Sunday Scaries in the butt and tell them to move on so that we can get on with our week. But until we do that, let's say hi to everybody. So hi, Jay Lily, welcome on in. Melanie's here. Hello. Jay Lily and Melanie are having a little moment. Tammy is here, and Tammy's here for a little bit before her family comes to wish or to celebrate her birthday. So happy birthday, Tammy. If you haven't done so yet, zoom on over to her Facebook or her YouTube, or even in here, wish her a happy birthday. It's a big weekend for her. She's celebrating her birthday, but also the 1-year anniversary of her channel. So I think it's on the 13th. She's going to be having a big old party. She used the phrase blowout the other day. So that's next Sunday, the 13th. She's taking my time. So she's going to be here 1 hour earlier. So was it for 3 o'clock Central, I guess, until Crashly comes on. And I'm going to take her Thursday night slot. So we're working it up just a little bit so she has a little bit extra time to get you guys into all of the goodies that she has collected, all of the prizes and stuff that she's collected. So make sure to stop on by next Sunday for sure. But you will be watching Tammy's channel, not mine. And then I'll see you on Thursday night. We'll check in for the week. Let's see. Carol, hello. Welcome on in. Hope all is well. Doretta, hello. Scrolling on down here. Janet, welcome on in. Matt, hello. Welcome on in. Hi, Elizabeth and Edward at Enablers Outpost. How are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Eve is here. Hello. She's in the car heading to the house. So drive careful. Tammy says she's not old. Melanie, after the retreat, I now know what a Tammy blowout is. That is for sure. And we'll talk a little bit about the retreat that we just got back from. But I'm not going to belabor the point too much because Tammy, her live from Thursday, if you go back and look at her channel, she did a live where a bunch of us came on and talked to her. Think of pronouncing it. I'll be scheduling an Artemis request because she wants to spread the word. I don't know what that means, but she had all of us on to talk about some of the hijinks that happened at Great Lakes Escape. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. For details of the fun, definitely go and check out the Tammy's video. It's worth it just for some of the laughs. We go through all the different stories and stuff and what happened. But for Tammy and me, both of us, it was our first retreat. And I know personally, I had a really good time. I really enjoyed meeting people in person that I maybe have watched on videos before or talked to, just through lives or Zoom meetings or whatever. So that was really nice. I didn't get a lot of work done on my project that I had brought. I brought my kit that I'm working on for the Asian event, Twilight Temple from Dreamer Designs. And unfortunately, I brought my drills, and it took a lot of real estate because I have that kit currently in these Forever Young containers, and I like them. But man, this takes up a lot of a lot of room, if you ask me. So I schlepped these to the retreat, but I left my extra diamonds in my toolbox here. So I got, I think, a square done, and then I was just running out of colors so much. I actually went to, they have a table that people can put things on that they're giving away or whatnot. And there was a couple packs of 310s from DAC, and I grabbed one just so that I can continue putting some of the outline down. But so I put that away, and I ended up DP with Sparklers. Tima had given everyone a diamond painting we got a basket with some stuff in it, swag, t-shirts, whatnot. So I ended up working on that, and I think I posted it on Facebook. But that was nice because it was still something to do. But yet it was small enough that I was still able to go and enjoy things. So that was great. Hello, Shay. How are you? Welcome on in. The next retreat I'm scheduled for is Red Boot, I guess, and I'm really excited because I'm going to be meeting Shay. Chocolate diamonds. Oh man, I laughed so much she got a headache. Yeah, that is quite the video. Melanie says her body was so sore from laughing so hard. Is that after Tammy's video or the retreat? Or Lone Star? Thank you, Melanie. I felt like I had done sit-ups for days. Not a bad thing. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Oh, okay. Schedule it on StreamYard so she could share it with people. Yes, definitely. Put that on StreamYard. Get it out there so that people, number one, are expecting the switch, but also they can make plans to show up. So let's see. What else about the retreat? I ran out of drills. I did go to, I wasn't going to go, but then I was told to go to the string art class hosted by the lovely Crashly, Miss Naughty School Teacher herself. And I made a paw print, and it's coming untied a little bit here. I had trouble keeping my knots tied, but I made this because obviously dog, but Sammy he'll have some toe beans and nails that are black, but then on a couple feet he has a white toe bean. So I made one white, and then I usually, his collar and stuff like that is blue, so I use this. So we made these. This was supposedly the most difficult design. Of course it was. And I have never hit my fingers so much with a hammer before. And that was not fun. But made it through and did what I could with the stuff that was provided. I have seen, and I don't know if any of you have seen the string art ads. I'm assuming they pop up in my Facebook feed and stuff like that because of crafting, right? But you send in a picture to this company, and they send you, it's a circle, and you put in all the nails, and they tell you all the nails are numbered, and you go with the strings and stuff like that, and you create like an image of a person. It's quite amazing. And I thought, oh, I want to do this. And I went and looked, and it was $100 and some odd for the kit. and you had to put the nails in yourself. That was sort of the line for me. I'm like, if I'm paying $150 for a kit, give me the pre-installed nails. And I'm going to tell you, after just doing this, I'm not doing those nails because it was not bueno for the fingers. My bruises are gone, but yeah, it is what it is. Hi, Nancy. Welcome on in. It was nice meeting you in person last night. Sammy says, my star looks so sad. Yours looks good. It looks okay. It could be better. Melanie says, my paw somehow made it through security without a second look. Good thing I took my shoes off, though. Yeah, so that's good because they gave us this like foam board to pound our nails on and stuff so that we weren't hurting the table. And then someone had the idea of cutting out a piece and putting it on the back to save your clothes and stuff if you put this into your luggage. Well, I'm glad I did that. And here's how much trouble that Mel would have gotten into. You got all the nails sticking through the back. And it's like it could be maybe assumed to be a weapon or something. I don't know. Let's see. Tammy Crashly hammered mine for me. I surprisingly did the string art pretty easy. Good. It was great having Tammy there and helping her out and getting her set up and meeting her mom and her sister. Her mom and her sister came along to help her with her daily needs and stuff like that, except for when they dropped her off in the craft room and they ran. Then it was pretty much up to us. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice meeting everybody. And it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Funny story. So Berta and Melanie flew into Chicago. And then, hey, Crash, I was just showing your naughty school marm moment. But they flew into Chicago, they spent the night, and then we drove to Ohio the next morning. So there's 3 of us in my car. And at one point I was like, well, we could take a 4th person. Let's take a 4th person. And they're like, are you crazy? There's not going to be enough room in the car for the luggage and stuff. And I thought, oh, come on. Well, between Berta's 3 suitcases and Melanie's 2, my 1, and then all of the miscellaneous boxes and coolers and blah, 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 I was playing Jenga like a madman. I tried it here, and Mel's like, just come to the hotel, we'll figure it out. So as I'm waiting for them, I'm taking things out, and I'm just standing there looking at it. And I'm like, it's like I'm playing Tetris. So I pulled up the Tetris theme song, and I'm playing it really loud on the stereo when Mel walks out, and she just started laughing. But yeah, Berta had an 83-pound suitcase and a 50-pound suitcase. And those are not easy to lift into a car. I'm just saying. So we had that. So I folded down half of the back seat, and we got it all situated and whatnot. And we made our way out there, and it was a nice drive out. It was about just under 4 hours, and I felt like the time was like perfect road trip, that it's like you felt like you were getting away enough, but it's like you're not in the car for like 8 hours. So yeah, we got out there, unloaded the car. Holy crap. Got the stuff up to our room, unloaded, had the event, whatnot. Well, Berta got rid of a lot of her stuff. And you look like you brought the whole state with you. Pretty much, Tammy. It was, those luggage carts that they have in the hotels. It was full, like it was stacked all the way up to the top, and I had stuff hanging off of it. Let's see. Eve says, Crashly hit a hammer mine too. She's a professional hammerer. Tammy says, everyone was so helpful. And I wouldn't say my mom and sister ran from the craft room. They just walked quickly. No, they ran. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. I think I heard your sister say that at some point. Melanie says, I had reasonable luggage. Yes, you had reasonable luggage. And Crash, I'll get to you in a second. So we had the event. Berta had brought a lot of canvases to swap out with, I guess she swaps with Cheryl from DP with Sparklers, because some of the things that Berta buys, Cheryl doesn't buy. So Cheryl borrows them, and then they can design an ES for it. But then she also brought like 1 million items that she was selling. And I think it was finally the last day. She still had a bunch sitting there. She goes, Rich, help me bring this up to the table. We brought it up to the free table, and of course they flew out the door. Yeah, so then we're getting ready to go again with the cart, still lighter luggage, but still the same amount of stuff. There were less boxes and things like that, so it fit a little bit easier. I only had to repack it twice. The first time I had to repack it 4 or 5 times. Oh, nice thunder. I only had to pack it twice. So we got going and headed home. And the entire time they're laughing at me. They're like, your car needs better shocks. I'm like, my car needs not have 3,000 pounds of luggage sitting in it, because yeah, it's riding a little rough. Well, sure enough, on the way home, we're almost home on 294. And I was changing lanes, and I hit this big old piece of concrete that was inexplicably in between the 2 lanes. And I hit the right front passenger tire, and like, you knew I hit something. And I was praying that at first I'm like, oh, please no flat. And then I'm like, please don't have kicked up into the car or the engine or anything. So I immediately started pulling over, and and I'm watching my dash, because I have that low tire warning, and it's still telling me it has plenty of air, but all of a sudden it's like, you get the weird running sound. So I get off onto the shoulder, and then all of a sudden my dash just lights up, and it's like 0. You got a flat tire. So luckily we pulled off right where there was this on-ramp, but the on-ramp was closed. And 294, it's a 4 or 5 lane expressway, and people do not drive slowly on it. So it was a little nerve-wracking being right on the shoulder. So I was able to crawl up just a little bit and get all the way over on the shoulder of like the on-ramp. So we had a little bit more space between us and the oncoming traffic. So called through my insurance, called for road support and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, we're talking, and all of a sudden I look over at Melanie, who's in the passenger seat, just white as a ghost. I go, oh my God, my spare is underneath all of the luggage. So I'm like, all right. So we waited a little bit to hear from the guy who was coming to change the tire. And we got out and took out most of the stuff, put it off to the side, got out the spare, had to figure out this concoction of, there's like a part of the stereo, I'm assuming it's like the bass, is like bolted into the center of the spare, and it's corded, and you can't get the spare out. So we had to take that off. It was quite weird. So the guy got there. He was super efficient. He, of course, had the power jack. He had the rivet gun or whatever. So it was like we were in the pits of NASCAR, and he had it changed within a couple minutes, loaded the car back up, and then I got off the expressway so I could take the side roads, because I didn't want to be driving, God forbid, 55 or 60 on the expressway. Okay, yes. We did stop right on the side of the road still. We didn't get over on the off ramp yet. And I did ask Melanie, because she was in the passenger side. I said, can you get out and just look at the tire? And she's like, you know, so she did, and she's like, yeah, it's flat. I'm like, okay. So that's when we moved over. I just didn't want to get out on my side because I would have been creamed by a semi. Let's see. Hi, Debbie. Welcome on in. Let's see. Melly says Dylan was awesome. Zaza, not so much. Yeah. So we're over on this thing. Bert is in the back seat. And so now she gets out. She has Katya on a leash. And Katya is sniffing, peeing, standing there looking at Berta. And I'm like, look at Zsa Zsa Gabor on the side of the street here. Crashly, go Google Zsa Zsa Gabor. She's standing there, and I'm just like, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're doing good, with her little leash and her little tiny dog. But it was really fun having Katya along too. So when we were putting things back together, we couldn't put the real tire under the back part of the trunk. It's a crossover SUV, so it's like a back like that. So it wouldn't fit in there. So we threw some stuff in there, and then we put the tire on top. Well, now we had to rearrange some things. So then Berta got, I don't know, she had to hold the basket, and then Melanie was holding something. So then Berta was crabby, but whatever. I don't see Berta, so I'm going to talk about her all I want right now. Did he say he just didn't want to get creamed? I didn't want to get creamed. And I didn't mean it that way. True, Melanie. Cream by semi. That's what she said. Ha 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 ha. Oh wait, that's Jar Jar. Oh, the most hated character in all of Star Wars. So got them to a non-murderous hotel, dropped them off, packed up now an even smaller luggage cart, and they were busy hitting on the soccer team that was checking in around the same time. And we had to walk 1.25 miles to their room. And, I put the suitcases sideways. So we're trying to get it in the door. And it's like either Berta's suitcase handle or the wheels they were both like hanging up on the door, and we're doing this. Melly and I, pivot, from Friends. So I had to unload the thing out in the hallway, and then bring the big stuff in. I'm trying to be careful again of what I'm saying. Bring the big stuff in, and then wheel the cart in. And then they got off fine the next morning. But Melanie was laughing pretty hard at that whole thing. Hitting on the soccer team. I thought it was going to be Berta, but Melanie was intoxicated by the scent of the cologne that all of them wore, the same cologne, and went and talked Brazilian to them or something, because some of them were from Brazil. Runs in, sorry I'm late. Hey Lee, Berta says I'm here. Oh, hi Berta. Love you, Berta. They were speaking Portuguese. Okay, is that what they speak in Brazil? I don't know. I'm assuming. But yeah, good thing I didn't have one more person in the car, because that would have not have worked at all. So I think that's all I have to cover from my aspect from the retreat. Yes, Brazilian Portuguese. Oh, it's not. It's a form of. Okay. But remember, I showed you how to load a cart. No, you didn't. Well, like leaving? Well, yeah, because I had already figured out that your suitcases were too wide for the hotel door. You're welcome. Okay, so there's that. So I got home and went over to my neighbor's house and got little Sammy. I was very nervous leaving Sammy over at my neighbor's house. I don't know how much we talked about it, but he started having vestibular attacks, or basically dog vertigo, old dog vertigo. It's literally called old dog vestibular disease, where he just gets vertigo out of the blue. And he had a couple of attacks before I left, but I started him on some meds and stuff like that. He was doing pretty well. So I brought him over to his neighbor, and my neighbor kept sending me pictures the whole week because she knows she has to do that. And he was doing so well. Like, he just looked awake and alive, and he wasn't crooked and whatnot. And she said he did real well. So I'm assuming he had fun hanging out with his two friends over there, Brilly and Rudy. So I was able to bring him home. We hung out and everything was cool. And I wanted to start trying to taper him off the vertigo medicine. It's meclizine, so it's bonine or Dramamine. And I don't have a problem giving it to him because I take that when I go on cruises, right? So I wanted to wean him off of it. So I was giving him, Monday I gave him half a pill, and then Tuesday I gave him half a pill. And sure enough, he had another episode. So I immediately gave him the other pill, and then he's been on the full pill ever since. The vet said it's okay, he can do that. But I'm glad that I was home for when he needed a little bit more support. And Thursday night, we go see a dog chiropractor, because supposedly chiropractic medicine can do a lot for vestibular disease in dogs. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Oh, I forgot with the retreat in Crashly. So Crashly said earlier she didn't bring a lot of stuff. I went out and I had to admire how Kerwin packed their truck with all the crap that they had. I shouldn't say crap. They brought like a printer. They brought stuff to print papers. Like, there was a backdrop of the theme was murder mystery. So there was a backdrop of like height markers that you would take a mugshot in front of. And they were taking pictures, and then they were planning to print them out there and give them out at the retreat if you bought the whatever it was. I think it was $5 for a set of papers or something. Well, then their printer broke, whatnot. So they had a lot of business stuff. Plus, they were a vendor, so they brought a lot of paper and other diamond painting accoutrement to sell. Plus, their mom was there, and she was selling stuff, including Melanie bought me one of these, a twerp. This is my little twerp. Hello. She also had like needle cushions in like ceramic things and stuff. They were very cool. So they had that stuff plus their personal stuff. I think they rolled out 3 of the luggage carts full of stuff. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I had to go out there and admire it just for a moment. Melanie says, Kerwin is a master packer. I'm going to leave that one alone. I saw Kerwin's perfectly stacked luggage cart. Yep, his wife is perfectly stacked too. Crashly is oddly tall. Like, not what I expected. That was sort of the cool thing about meeting people. You're just like, okay, this is not, I see you, but I don't see you, you know? And she was tall. She is tall. Melanie says, yes, she is. It was a crazy amount of stuff. It was a crazy amount of stuff. I can't believe that you guys brought all of that, but it was fun hanging out. Crash is in Amazon, says Mel. Yes, and she has a lot of hair to spare, which if you go watch Tammy's video, you'll see what they're talking about. Oh my God, why does everyone say that? I give off short girl vibes? Well, yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen you stand. Like you're always sitting at the desk. Like I'm not standing, right? Um, but whatever. It is what it is. So let's see. What else? So yeah, that's all the good stuff. So the coming week, I think I mentioned um, before that work has been getting ready to do a restructure, and that has been announced. Luckily, I'm still employed, knock on wood, but I'm on me and my team, immediate team, we're now part of a separate division, a boss that knows nothing about what we do and whatnot. She says she's committed to figuring things out and stuff. And I mean, she seems very capable and very much a leader. So I appreciate that, but I still feel very uneasy about it. And I did a really great job, I will say, keeping that out of my mind at the retreat, because I found out right before I left, and then some of my coworkers were messaging me throughout the week, and so I did a good job at blocking it out. But then, of course, coming back at it, I had to deal with it. And that Monday, I had three meetings. One was a one-on-one with my new boss, and then two other meetings with teams of people that I've never met before. And they're like, what do you do? You know, and that's the weird thing. It's like the stuff that her team does, nothing coincides with what we do. But what I learned from a couple of the people on the call was that they're like, yeah, we got put with this boss too. So she seems to be sort of the collector of all the misfit toys. And everyone seems very happy and very complimentary of her. So that to me says that she is a true leader. I don't need a boss that knows exactly what I do. I need a boss to understand the concept of what I do and how it fits into the industry. And let's talk about ideas of how to rectify things, that come up. So I'm sort of excited about that, but at the same time, it's just sort of like, oh, this is my seventh boss in this position. And I've been in this role for 3 years, seventh boss. It's crazy, but I still have a job. But I do have to go back in the office now. They started this whole back in the office thing again, even though my entire team was formed as a remote team before COVID. I took the job during COVID as a remote employee because the team was remote. And I'm the only person in the immediate area in Illinois. Well, there's two other people in Illinois, but they're far out west. I'm the only person here. My team is in Wisconsin or Florida, South Carolina, Quebec, or Quebec. Yeah, I guess Quebec. So it's like, who am I going in to interface with? So they started this whole thing up again about going in, and I'm nervous about leaving Sammy, but my new boss, she's not excited about it because she lives way up north. It's going to take her an hour and a half just to get to either downtown or our suburban operations center where I'll be going, which is only 15 minutes for me. And I'm just going to do like I did before and go in for the morning and come home. I'm not leaving Sammy for an entire day. I hooked up. I have a camera that I'm able to pull up on my phone that I can check on him. I did that yesterday. I was running some errands and I checked up on him and everything was well. But it's like, I totally get it. The business side of me and the HR side of me says an employer can change the game at any time. But when you have people that were purposely scheduled or purposely formed a team that was remote, and even before it was commonplace, we were hiring people from other states. And then to just switch it like that, I don't like that. And so many of my team members have rearranged their lives with their kids. Some of them have sold their cars because they weren't driving. So they got rid of one of the family cars and this, that, the other thing. So when they started this thing the first time, I purposely went in and I walked the very fine line between they gave us very specific guidelines of if your commute time is over 2 hours one way, who's driving to work 2 hours? You could be exempt and whatnot. So I worked with my team and I got most of them exempt from coming back into the office. The rest of them, we all have to go in. So I'm doing that again this time. But I'm just like, you know what? I'll just bite the bullet. I'll go in. If it keeps the focus off my team a little bit, that, I'm going in, I'll take it. So that's sort of frustrating, but Crashly, I never stand. You don't. Tammy, it was a time of my life. Eve had an absolute blast. I got to sit next to Eve the whole time. And that was something. Christine, hello, welcome on in. Crash did her Cousin It imitation. It was sort of like a Cousin It / Lurch thing, right? Hi, Kat, welcome on in. Sparkle and Diamonds is here. Hope everything's going well. Kat, with you getting home and stuff like that. I was serious when I said a special bond we build. I'll definitely punch someone for Rich. We were already planning to drive up to see him and Sammy. I have to move. She has my address too. Damn it. Let's see. Lee saying hi to Kat, everybody. The back in the office thing is BS. I go in 2 days a week, and those days rarely get anything done. So much more productive at home. I agree. I 100% agree. And to make it worse, okay, first of all, I think my company was the only company that built 3 office towers during COVID. 3. Everyone else was getting rid of real estate. Here, my company's building towers. So then they when they first said you got to go into the office, we had a program that you would go in, you could pull up a map of the floor, because the way that they have it is the floors are divided into divisions, and I'm part of technology and operations. So we have 3rd floor east blocks C and D, I think it is. You could pull that up and you can go and say, okay, here's some free desks. I want to sit here. My coworker is going to sit here because we're going to work on something together, or I need to sit by someone else because we're going to work on something together, or I want to sit all by myself or in the corner. You could reserve a desk. Probably 3 out of 10 times you would go there and someone would be sitting there and you just be like, get the hell out, because I reserved it, which was always embarrassing and not fun, because they took these divisions with thousands of people and now you have hundreds of seats. So then they took that program away. They said, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. Just go in and find a seat. All right, well, I'm telling you right now, if I make my way downtown, which is like an hour and 20-minute commute in stupid traffic, if I walk into a building and I don't have a seat, I'm losing it. 100% lock per Eve. I'm losing my shit, because that is ridiculous. So they did that. Then they say, well, all of our hoteling stations, they're going to have dual monitors, but we're not going to supply mice or keyboards anymore because everybody has a laptop. Okay. So now I have to use this trackpad, which sucks. And we work at a bank. So we work with numbers. My laptop doesn't have a keypad on it. So now I'm, and you walk, and they weren't going to supply docking stations. So now there's only, the new laptops only have like one port on them. So I can only do one monitor, and it's just, and half the time it doesn't work. And then you're trying to get on Teams, and Teams isn't working with the Wi-Fi. So then I'm on my phone. It's like, why am I wasting my time? But you know what? That's what they want to do. So I'm going to do it in most minimal way possible. Kerwin says she isn't that tall. She is tall. She is. maybe she's not tall to you because maybe you're taller as well. I don't remember how tall you were. I don't think I stood eye to eye with you. Kerwin just showed me who Lurch was. That's awesome. Hi, Sarah. Welcome on in. I represented Sarah Ann Creations. I brought all of my stuff in my Asian bag because I was working on my Asian piece. But you know that Eve, she's got some sticky fingers because I set it down in between us. Well, she brought her stuff in her Asian bag too. So now she's like grabbing my stuff and I'm grabbing her stuff. So finally, I'll put it over here, even though Tammy was on this side. And you know damn well she was going to be stealing pens and stuff like that. But you were represented at Great Lakes Escape. John has been remote since COVID. His boss just let the office lease go and hasn't gone back since. I think that's exactly the way to go. Allstate Insurance is based in the northern suburbs of Chicago, and they used to have a campus of 3 or 4 buildings that everybody would go to, and it's demolished. They sold it, they knocked it down. They're putting up condos or whatever. I think that's the smartest way to go, because why do businesses need that overhead these days? I don't think it makes any sense. The excuse about collaborating is bullshit, because even if I run up to Wisconsin and see half of my team, anyone else that I work with is in Canada, is in Florida, or is somewhere out west, because now we bought a bank and we're nationwide now. So there's a bunch of people out in California and stuff. And God forbid, they're not going to pay for anybody to travel. So you sit there in the office on Teams. It's ridiculous. Sparkled Less. Rich Crashly's taller than you. Yes, she is, because that's how I got my hair. Saw many people with the Sarah Ann Creations bag. Yep, there was a couple people. That was one of the really cool things, was walking around and just looking at people's setup. Now, I thought that I came pretty minimal. I brought a smaller light pad. I brought just a clip-on light that I don't use at home because I have a brighter light. I have a larger light pad. I brought these. This was probably the biggest thing that I brought. And then I brought, I got it down to 2 pens, 1 tray, everything I had. I really tried to make sure that I wasn't bringing everything but the kitchen sink. Some of these people brought the kitchen sink. There were several people who brought office chairs like this, because the chairs did suck, but they brought office chairs. I saw one lady hauling it out the day we were leaving. She took it apart and put it back in the box. I'm not putting a chair together and then, carrying it, putting it together, sitting on it and take it away or take it apart a few days later. It's too much work. It was cool to see everyone's setup. It was cool to see other paintings. It is dangerous to see other paintings, though, because I saw some that I was on the fence about getting, and now I want. But it was cool to see everyone's setup, and it was cool to see just the different things that people worked on and to talk to them about, are you blinging this up? Are you doing this with this? What is that? So that was cool, just to get to the diamond painting. Whatchamacallit, dorky stuff. Let's see. Yes, I do know that messenger person. That's on purpose. Let's see. Kat is shorter than everyone. Kat is shorter than everyone, but Kat had everything. She brought the kitchen sink with her. Literally, you would be like, oh man, I wish I had a blah, blah, blah. And she's here with, here it is. You can borrow this. Here's this. She had everything. Hi, Jamie. Welcome on in. Let's see. Sarah Ann says, I wish my husband could work from home. He was essential through COVID. I wish our kids got to spend more time with their dad. It makes me sad. Yeah, is that whole, essential thing. I mean, I get it. I'm not sure. I don't think I remember what your husband does, or if I even did know. But obviously, essential personnel, props to them. If they truly are essential, thank you for keeping things running and stuff like that. I know that I was so non-essential because my role is helpful, but it's not mandated by a regulatory requirement or anything. So when we first went to COVID, our VPN, they never tested the VPN for full remote work for everybody. So you couldn't get on the system. So they split everybody into day shift and night shift. So I was on the night shift. So I worked the night shift for a couple weeks, which was pretty much me logging in and then walking away. I'm like, screw this. If you don't have a system that can handle everybody, whatever. But then they eventually got it fixed and whatnot. So I mean, everything works for me here at home. It's too bad. Melanie says, "Me too, Kat. Us shorties need to stick together." Sparkles and diamonds. I hid koi bags. I gifted Mel a mermaid Sarah Ann Creations bag. Yes, I saw that. They were being passed around the table. Hi, Gabrielle. You're not late. You're just welcome on in. You're welcome to come in whenever you have the time. How tall is Kat? Sarah Ann asks. She's about this tall. Kidding. I don't know how tall she is, but she is shorter than I am. Jamie says, I do bring a chair cushion. I brought a chair cushion, and that was fine. But and what was sort of interesting to me was people brought like full lamps, full light pads, but they also brought like their tablets, their whatever, and they sat there with earphones in and they watched their movie, watched their show, whatever, as they were diamond painting. And you know what? You do you. That is perfectly acceptable. And they were talking to people as people would stop by or they would walk around occasionally. But I'm like, I want to hear everything that's going on because I want to hear if I need to jump in over here into this conversation or if I want to know what this person's talking about. Plus, we were sitting by the sink and the refrigerator. So there a lot of people came over just organically. And it was cool to be able to say everybody. Eve says people had easels, lamps. Yes. And it was interesting for sure. So the last day when I was packing up, I did borrow, a lot of people had these, I guess they're for gardening, but they're these wagons that unfold and they're sort of canvas and have like this metal or strong plastic exoskeleton. You're welcome, Melanie. And I borrowed Cheryl's to roll my stuff out to the car. I'm like, ooh, this is brilliant. So I did get one of those for next time because that was brilliant. Unfortunately, the next one I'm flying to, so I don't know how I'm going to bring that along, but maybe Berta will have room in her suitcase. Sparkle, the cat says, I almost brought the kitchen sink. Yes, that's true. Sarah Ann says, I would tower over you. Tower over Cat or me? Doretta says, I can't wait to go to RSV. It will be my first retreat. Excellent. I'm excited. I've heard trickles about that, Doretta. So definitely let us know about RSV and how that goes. Also, I need to look into where that is because one of the things that we're talking about is Tammy had such a good time. She would like to go again. And really the only one that is close enough for her right now is GLE. I wonder if RSV would be anywhere near her that she may be able to take advantage of that. What's interesting is the dividing line is in the country, like GLE, only certain people went to. And then the Texas ones, there's like a contingent of people that go to, and very few people seem to cross over. It'd be nice just to be like, here we are, everybody in one spot. But who knows? Lisa's at my height, she would disappear. Yeah, a lot of people would disappear with your height, Lee. We're comparing Cat says, Doretta, what is RSV? It's like Virginia, right? Something in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, starts on the 16th. Mel is perfect boob height, says Crashly. That is an interesting fact. Tush Kush was essential, yes. Melanie, I barely got any diamond painting done because I want to maximize my time with people. Yeah, it was. There was definitely a time that I was like, all right, I need some time by myself. So I was concentrating on diamond painting, but yeah, it was really cool to see other people. Kat says I learned a lot from the next one. There's a lot going on, and to see crafts with Crashly, yeah, and to sit at a different table. No, I'm kidding. Mostly, we just talked about historical nonsense, 100%, and we had Katya to entertain us. And again, go watch, if you didn't see it, go watch Tammy's live from Thursday. We went through all of the hijinks, including Katya, who was up on the table, and she made her way down the table. She didn't care what was in her way, and she was stealing food and everything. So it was quite interesting. Let's see. I believe I did the least diamond painting, Mel, says Kat. Eve says, I left my wagon at home because there was over the car. Yeah, it was nice that they had those luggage things, but it was really nice also having that cart. So I don't know. I'll figure out a way to get those. RVA Sizzling Summer Retreat, says Crashly. Yes, I think that's what they're talking about. Brittany and Robin are planning one in North Carolina in August 2026. Cool. You have a flatbed cart, sir, and that would work. Absolutely. Use that for craft fairs. That would absolutely work. Diamonds and washi. Oh, hey, Katie. I love hearing about the different retreats. I wish I could go to more. That would be cool for everybody to be able to go to more. I know you normally go to the Texas one of the Texas ones, but it would be great to see everybody. And I discovered, I'm going to do an unboxing here. I'm going to have her on the channel. You may not know, there's a community member, Diamond Painting community member, who is an artist. And she was there as a vendor, also as a participant, but she was as a vendor selling her artwork. And I found this piece of artwork that just spoke to me in ways that I never, if you look at it, you're like, that's nothing. But this thing there's something about it. So I'm very excited to unbox that and show everybody. And then I'm also going to have the artist on and let her talk about her art. And the funny thing was, I came back from the vendor room and I sat down and everyone around me, hey, what'd you get? What'd you get? So I'm showing them, Crash and Kerwin were there with their papers and they were selling it by the sheet, which was totally awesome. I wish that was more feasible for them, but I know it's not. They had them in like albums. You could flip through and just take out how many sheets you want, which I love because like even now I'm working on, I had to kit up my Star Wars. I have Star Wars The New Hope. I had to kit it up. I don't need another whip, but I had to kit it up. But anyway, I have 3 of these are from Crash. How did I know? Like months ago when I bought this is something called lightsabers. What is it called? Her mom came up to, she goes, oh, you're rich. I put your stickers, I put your name on all these envelopes and stuff. It was cute. But lightsabers and the Imperial and Rebel symbols. And then of course I finish it off with my diamond calendar from Crash. But so really I only need 4 or 5, maybe 6 pieces of release paper to cover. I do it row by row. So it was cool to be able to get that smaller amount to be like, oh, I'm going to do a Rebecca Tyndall. Let me get a couple of the Rebecca Tyndalls. And let me get a couple of this. I got a couple pieces of their mom's art. It's like Starry Night and it has a cup of coffee. I'm like, hello, I love that. So yeah, Chocolate Diamond says, yes, have a retreat in the middle of the country. I think that would be awesome to have. And like more of like a convention where everybody goes and you're able to do stuff, but then like you work hard to hit all the vendors there, like all of the companies there, and let people come and learn, new things so that the vendors can teach things and whatnot. But it was really cool. It was really cool having Cheryl there from DP with Sparklers. She was customizing away. I felt bad for her. She didn't have a lot of time to sit down and work on her own painting, but it was really cool having her there. And she brought stuff to sell. I'm going to tell you, she brought stuff that is not on the site yet. And I think she did that last time too. I don't even know where I put it. With the stars, they have them on their site now. They're twisted stars. Well, there's a ninja star, and then there's a hex cube, which is a 2x3, I think. They're beautiful. I'm like, I need one in every color because now I need to figure out what to do with them. So that was cool. And it was cool. Who else was there? I forget her name. Melanie, if you maybe remember her name, because you told me to go get this. This lady made, I like seahorses. She made this, and I'm like, this isn't like knitted or crocheted or something. It's like fuzzy and stuff like that. She goes, no, it is. It's blanket wool or something, but it's a little seahorse. And the tail goes back up. So I was like, that's cute. So I went ahead and got that, but she had some other things like that. And then probably the largest amount of stuff there was Bella Art and Dana Cole. All the 3D printed stuff. They had these beautiful articulated dragons. I learned that, the articulated 3D stuff, like this is my beaver, but how this moves and stuff like that. They had these beautiful dragons that were probably at least a foot, if not a little bit longer, but the filaments they did them were beautiful. And I was looking at it. I said, how long does it take you to put this together? They go, no, it prints like that. It prints like all attached and articulated. I could not believe that. So I was talking to them about that for a while because I could not picture that. I'm fascinated by 3D printing, which means probably by year end I'll have a 3D printer, just so you know. And Melanie already called that. But it was cool to see all their stuff and talk to them a little bit. So yeah, it was nice. Have a retreat in the countryside. Richmond is 6 hours from Tammy. That may be doable. I think Ohio was probably about six hours. Eve and I both overpacked and loaded her car. It was like playing Jenga or Tetris 100%. It can get overwhelming, overstimulating at times. I could see that, and that's when you need to sit down and work on your painting, right? That's what we all go to our diamond paintings for, is to sort of focus and get rid of that anxiety and stuff like that. Baby Godzilla was definitely a highlight, says Melanie. That was what we were calling Katya. That was funny. Kerwin and I were just talking about you. Are you going to any next year? Katie, to have them talking about you, I would worry. But I don't know if you all saw this. Katie and Shay, who is it? Randa's Putty, is it? Randa's, they have their own scents now. Did anyone ever want to know what Katie smells like? or Shay? They have their own scents. I'm like, that is so cool. I want a scent. I don't know what it would smell like, but I want a scent. Maybe pizza. I don't know. What would it smell like? I don't know. Nothing like a 5-pound service dog off duty and up to no good. Yeah, she was pretty much off duty the entire time. I think once she alerted Berta to take her medicine or something. Let's see. Last time I went to retreat, I had 2 people in the car getting all their stuff in, and then back was definitely a game of gender. It was, and I'm so glad. I guess I just did not expect, like I knew there would be stuff that you're bringing. I didn't realize how many canvases and stuff that Berta and Melanie were like selling and trading and everything. It was amazing. Kat says, Dread, have a wonderful time at your first retreat. It's priceless. It really is. Oh, I was talking about this artist. So I found this piece. I came back. I'm showing everybody. a bunch of people went upstairs and bought it. And she comes back down. She goes, "You told everybody that I sold out." I'm like, "That's a good thing, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have to order more." But it's like the coolest image. So I'm excited to share that with you guys eventually. But Crashly says, it's Rebecca. Her pieces made me so happy. Crafting Crime and Daily. She's an artist. Who knew? And I think they're up there. Crash had a paper of the image, so I got a couple for when I was working on it. Melanie said, "I love her diamond paint. Can't wait to do it. We shall do it together." Seriously, like everyone who bought one, we should do it together and do it almost like an event, like the Rebecca event, but just a diamond painting along, you know. Maybe work with Crashly to get everybody a couple pieces of paper or something, you know, or a set of papers or something, and that's about it. But do that and then show it off and really support a community member who's doing stuff out there. And I told her, I said, "This, you could have probably put a picture of a speck of dust on the floor and I would have bought it because it's a community member, right? And it's special." It was so cool. She signed the back of it, and I gave her a Sharpie. I says, "Where do you normally do this?" She goes, "I've never been asked to sign anything before." I'm like, "Well, sign it." And then everybody else wanted their sign. So it was really cool. I hope that she knows how excited I was about getting that. We all were. Let's see. Things Cat. Those are old school ones. Diamond Cat. Katie. Yes, I'm working on a new hoop right now. How can you resist? I couldn't. Like I said, Katie, I think you're much better than I am with the multiple whips, but I'm like, I need another whip, like I need another hole in my head, but I have to work on this. I have got to work on it. And I'm so glad that I did that. And I'm going to tell you, I was sitting here. I have never placed drills so precise before. Like, I do a good multi-placing. I do a good job at multi-placing, but I'm like exact. I got my jerry-majigger out. I'm straightening up the edges. I'm doing all the things because these are going to look amazing when I'm done. And I wonder, Katie, what do you think they're going to do for the next movies or the other movies, right? Are they going to continue this format? I don't know. You may know, and you could, sort of put something in somebody's ear. I wouldn't know where you got it from. Rebecca's getting a cat. Oh yeah, she ran out, so she owes Cat one of those paintings. Rebecca, Crafts of Crashly, Rebecca Tyndall. Rebecca Tyndall, who? It's Rebecca Crafts and Crime Daily. Eve ordered that kit. I want her ornaments one too. She had a couple there. It was really cool. Doretta, Crashly, I remember your video about them. Didn't you almost get arrested for them? Poor Kay. Crashly arrested? The cops did show up at the retreat, by the way. It was the second to last day, I think. Berta got up early to take Katya outside. And by the time we all got up, she says, "Yeah, I went outside and there were 2 police officers there and they were talking to somebody and whatnot." She's like, "I wonder what happened." And we're just, talking about what happened. Ends up, Kat has this amazing ability to butt dial numbers, which I don't understand because typically your phone's lock, the screen's lock, but she dialed 911. And we didn't find that out until I think after we left. Kat says, "I got my community release paper signed by all the infamous people, including Rich." Yeah, that was funny. People coming by signing papers and stuff. That was fun. It was really cool to see Cheryl working on her enhancements and kit at the retreat. It really was. I just wish she had more time to work on hers. And of course, I saw her setup, right? And she's got the Dazzle deck, and I have a Dazzle deck that Tma sells. It's that it's basically the thing that goes in the bottom of the drawers, but you are able to set it up on an angle, and you put your art dot drawers in it. Well, Cheryl had one that was half round, half square containers, and I don't have any square containers, but I thought this is a good idea because I could put my special replacements, my bling, in the square ones, and this. So then I had to come home and I got the half and half dazzle deck, and I got the square containers because I want to be like Cheryl. Yeah. Let's see. I made a serious bling investment. Yeah, but you know what? I didn't spend as much money as I would on the website. Maybe because on the website it's just so easy to click, 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 click. Whereas there I had to actually hold things. I don't know. Crashly, wasn't that Scaries chocolate? We initially named them Long Live and Prosper. Oh yes, the copyright saying. It's crochet. This thing, crochet. Yeah, he's cute. I like him. Kupakai, hey all, welcome on in. Dinner with the hubby. That is fine. Hope you're doing well. Oh, is that the one I got my voodoo doll from? Perhaps. Melanie says blanket yarn crochet so nice. I make little seahorses. Yeah, I couldn't believe that this was. I mean, you look at it and I'm like, okay, well, it looks like yarn, but it doesn't look like yarn because it's so compact and it's so soft and stuff like that. It was just really cool. Let's see. Sparkles developed and post gorgeous articulated dragons. They do. I need to go look at the site because I may need to get one, even though I have no room for anything else 3D printed at my spot here. I really sort of want one. I got Kathy one of those dragons in burnt titanium, new favorite color. I think that's one I was eyeing, Eve. So good for you, but you know, hey. They had ones that were axolotl dragons. And then they had ones with wings. They had a couple different kinds, but they were absolutely beautiful. Big Daddy 3D, Big Daddy 3D, Big Daddy diamond painting. Yeah, that's why I'm working on that. Let's see. Pure Black. Thank you, Melanie. Pure Bliss Black. Pure Bliss Wax Company. If somebody has a link to that, that's the company that has the creator scents. Melanie says, I built you a scent. No, it was insulting, wasn't it? It was like old man plus something else. I don't know. Kat says, I want to sniff Katie and Shay. That's pretty funny. Katie says, I'm dying at it, smelling like the person, though. Yeah, and of course, Katie's is dragon something, dragon blossom or dragon something because she loves dragons, which I'm now in my dragon era. Katie, you'll be happy to know that another person is converted over to the dragonism. But I've converted over, I've entered my dragon era and I've started buying dragons. I haven't done any yet, but I've started buying them and I'm looking forward to doing them. Eve says they smell like the person. No, I think they just smell. I was kidding with that, but they smell like something that they are able to contribute to. I don't know exactly how it works, but let's see. Whatever scent you pick. Yep. Mine is a dupe for Bath and Body Works scent. Nice. Social media influencer. Yeah, really. I said, hey, look at this diamond painting. Also, sold out. Who knew? Melanie, Rich was so giddy opening those Star Wars kits. Oh my gosh. I did the unboxing for all three at once because I was so excited. So I ordered those. We were on our way to Ohio. We pulled over at like the first rest stop in Indiana. And we went in. It was a 7-Eleven gas station, whatever. We went in. I got something. I went back out to the car. And I'm looking at my watch. I says, oh my gosh, am I in Central or Eastern? Like, I don't know. Have I switched? And is it really noon? And I started panicking. I'm like, is it noon? Like, is it the time here that DAC releases? Or like it's 11 o'clock at home? And I was like, oh, please don't be sold out. So I'm in the parking lot. I pulled it up and they had them. Got all three. And of course, the one time I want my DAC delivery to take a little bit longer, it was waiting for me on my porch when I got home. I'm like, could you have taken it just another day so I was get home? But yeah, I loved opening those. Apparently, this style of image exists for the prequel and sequel. I don't know if they're on the plan, but I really hope so. That would be amazing. Could you see all of these hung up side by side? Like, I would make room for these. What I love about it is it's the movie, but it's not the movie. Like, I either want like a still from the movie I don't care for like the princesses where it's just like, here's the princess on a yellow background. I either want something from the movie or something like this, sort of a conceptual art that it could really sort of be something that could be used as a movie poster. So I love that. Katie says I need to watch Rich's unboxing. I don't know, but I was having a lot of fun with it. Let's see. Kat said I messaged Rebecca yesterday morning for the painting. They have been ordered. And then you found out your truck was stolen. Sorry, your husband's truck was stolen, so she can't buy it now. Well, it's going to take a little bit for it to come in because they got to be printed and stuff like that. So maybe by the time that they come in, you'll be able to swing it. Let's see. I want so many craft toys. I can't afford it. Exactly. It was not that insulting. Spiced orange, frankincense, leather. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. Thank you for putting the link out there, Mel. Sparkle and Diamonds. Tammy has a secret. Sparkle, I already unboxed them. I did. The Star Wars, yeah, I unboxed them, but I had to start them. I wasn't going to do that. Oh, thank you, Melanie, for putting up the link to the unboxing. That's funny. I love that it's a combination of key things in the movie. It is, Jenny. But I was telling, was it Melanie last night? So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to decide if I want to bling anything up. And I decided to do the very thin orange border I'm doing in gold metallics. And I think it looks really cool. And then I was trying to figure out a way to do the stars and something that would set them off a little bit. And I'm using something, I forgot what it is, but some type of glow glass. And I think it works really well. But I'm looking at this and I go, why do these X-Wing fighters and TIE fighters and everything, why do they have chemtrails? Those don't exist in space. And I think when I originally saw it, I assumed maybe they were lasers. Like I read it as lasers, like pew, 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 shooting at the other things. So I'm like, why do they have this? And then I think it was Melly who said, well, it's probably just a design element. And now that I'm working on it, I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm fine with it. Even though it's not like, and you don't want something conceptual like this to be hyper realistic, but I love how they have Darth Vader looming over this one. They got the Emperor looming over the other one. They got Luke looming over the Jedi one. I just love it. Oh, Tammy has her own scent. Yeah, no. Am I keeping the trails? I am. I do. I like how they look. I think they speak to the conceptual type art that this is, that it's not an exact dupe of something. But yes, I'm keeping it, but I'm already thinking about Empire Strikes Back and how to bling that up a little bit. But yes, so let's see what else. I started rewatching Schitt's Creek. This is just such an amazing show. If you have never seen that, please do. I'm trying to finish up Onyx Storm, the second part of the dramatized ebook, just released at the beginning of the month. So I have to get back into that. I have been looking for, so any of you know Captured by Radiance? They have an artist called Romance Art. They also are with the one with the diamond art and Dreamer Designs. I did an unboxing for the first Captured by Radiance Lion. It's a Winter King's storybook, True Heart Lion or something like that. And it's awesome artwork. And I'm looking at it. I already have plans to bling it. Well, the good news is that Captured by Radiance reached out and asked me if I want to be affiliate. And I said yes. So I will be doing first impressions and sneak peeks for them in the near future. But I asked during like the onboarding meeting, I asked them, like, is this, because it's storybook, Winter King's storybook, is this based on a story or something like that? Because if it is, I want to listen to this audiobook while I'm doing these. And so they didn't know. And they told me, yeah, it's based on a book. It's two sisters. So I think it's based on this book here. So I thought, I've been researching, I've been looking, I can't find anywhere this book has none of these character names in it, whatnot. So I finally reached out to the artist, and she said, thank you for, I just did this today. Thank you for reaching out. You're the third person to ask me if there's an actual storybook. There is, sort of. She has 4 children who are now mostly grown. They love to read. And she talks about a couple series that they liked. As they were growing up, her 3 sons especially loved animals. And I was always getting, hey, Mom, do you know this random fact about this obscure animal? And we tossed around some story ideas of our own. So they were her inspiration for the Winter King series. And now I think it might be time to put those ideas to work on paper. So cool. So cool that this woman took this imaginary thing that she had with her family, and she's putting it into artwork that they're really amazing. And I have the second one from Captured by Radiance, but I can't show it yet. But I love these things. Yeah, if you haven't seen the artwork, search, let's see, Captured by Radiance, Diamond Painting Shop, the one with the diamond art, and Dreamer Designs all have different Winter King images. You may have to search for Roman Arts. It's ROMANTZART, all one word, because Dreamer Designs doesn't list Winter King storybook or something. But I thought that was so fascinating. Another fascinating story behind diamond painting, that you spend so much time on these canvases. It's great to have this backstory. Oh, this is Rebecca, and I met Rebecca, and she does this, she's an artist, and this, that, the other thing, and now I know the story behind these characters that I'm going to be doing. It's just so interesting to have a backstory for some of this stuff. Let's see. I think I missed a couple here. Let me move back up. Saying congratulations. Thank you. I'm excited. I like helping companies, and Captured by Radiance really has some cool stuff. Their quality is great. And the other thing that they have is one of the sisters, I don't know if you've ever ordered from them. Well, I think both of them are into crystals. So like this is Jasper something. Jasper, or is it Dalmatian something? I forget the name of this one. But they do these as cover minders, and you get these in your kits as cover minders, and they're all these gemstones. And then if you order, or if you order a certain amount, I don't know that there's a set amount, or they're just happy to have your order, they'll send you like an orb, or well, I got an orb. I forget what it is, but I love these things. Like I have a bunch up here. I have a bunch of labradorite. If anybody knows what that is, labradorite is my favorite. I got a big spear up here. I got a big tower up here. And we were talking, and they're like, oh, I have so many boxes and blah, blah, blah. I go, you don't even want to look under my desk right now, because there's so many boxes down there with druzy this and this, that, and the other thing, all the different things. And actually, for the white elephant for GLE, I brought a pink quartz angel. It's probably about this tall. And I'm hoping that the person who got it doesn't think that it's just, that quartz it's nice quartz. Yes. So we talked crystals. And if you go on their site, I've never seen these before, but now I see them on Etsy all the time. They have it's a metal post, and it'll be a fairy, a dragon, or a butterfly body, and then they put crystal wings, and some of them are so amazing. They have ones that are druzy, or that means that they have the indentations in it that sort of start to crystallize. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Another thing that I need room for, I need a whole house for my diamond painting stuff. Let's see. Melanie, should have had my smoked baby back ribs yesterday. Oh, those are so good. Melanie says those paintings give serious Narnia vibes. They 100% do. Thank you, Carol. You really do story time so well. Like story time, or just story time. I do like. Um, I think it's the actor in me and the what was the class I took that like the vocal performance or something. I don't know. Jo says she loves Captured by Radiance. Yeah, I love it. They're a great company, and the sisters are so nice. I'm working on diamond painting for Asian DP event. I plan on putting some bling on it, but I'm a hesitant buyer. Just go for it, Saran. Go for it. You can always take it off. If it doesn't work out, you can always take it off. I know for my Asian piece, the Twilight Temple, that is the one that I used the twisted star on for the first time because there's a part of a night sky. So I put a couple of those stars. They're actually star shaped, and they cover most of, I think it's 4 squares, but it leaves space at the corners. So I just put in, I think the clear sparklers so that they don't take away from the star, but they give it extra sparkle. And I love how it looks. Love it. Dalmatian Jasper, thank you, Melanie. That's exactly what it is. I had it partially right. They usually send a crystal with an order. I ordered one of their mini pens and crystals came with it. They also turn pens. So one of the sisters turns pens. The other one seems to be like the diamond painting guru, and then they both do the crystals. I need to get one of their pens. Chocolate Diamonds will be on your channel. Absolutely, yes. I'll be putting it on my channel and hopefully linking it over to their page as well. Rose quartz has a really nice property. Everyone should have some. 100%. I agree. I was showing these guys. I have labradorite by my desk and stuff like that. Not only because I like it, but it's good for. I don't know that that's the communication, but it's good for relations or something like that. And I have moonstone or sunstone. Sunstone here by my desk because it's good for communication. Snuggy's Crafting Corner. Hello, welcome on in. I don't recognize that name, but welcome on in. Melanie, thank you for posting the link to the lion unboxing. Kubakai, I wanted to, but it already picked. I got Silly Putty. Silly Putty's cool. Try it in a multiplacer. Which, by the way, Kubakai Jenny was there when she was in Diamond Paint. She was working on her chainmail. That's some of the coolest stuff that I've ever seen. And I was talking to her at length about maybe getting me a chain because I need another chain. Like some days I really identify with the Italian part of my family, but I have my gold chain, my silver amulet chain, and then my Sammy stone, which is a bead that has Sammy's fur in it. Let's see. Kat, Sarah Creation, things she's glad you're going bling. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. 100%. Just go for it. And thank you for sponsoring the Asian event. Yes, that is a really cool event. I like the year-long thing. I thought, wow, that could be a little bit much, but it's nice. You know, if I were really into it, to be able to work at my pace to do a couple pictures throughout the year. As it is, I'm sort of moonlighting in it. I'm all tangled up here now. I'm moonlighting in it and doing this one piece for over time, but yeah, it's I like the concept, and they have 1.5 million sponsors, which is cool. Melanie is now obsessed with chainmail. Might have to be your next hobby. Nice. Don't tell John. Yeah, right. Kubakai, looking forward to working on your piece. I was talking to her about colors and stuff like that. It was really cool. And Kat says, I need a Jenny chain, link, bracelet, and necklace. Yes, everybody does. So let's see. It's 5:25. So I want to make sure that we are all well rested for Crashly and Kerwin go live at 6 p.m. over on their channel. So I'm going to start wrapping it up, but I would like to just take a moment. And I'm not going to call it a moment of silence, but just a moment. Let's all reflect for just a moment on all of the crap that's going on in the world now. And you take that however you want to take it. If you want to take it political, you could take it political. If you want to take it, what the hell is going on in Texas with these floods? what the hell is going on in the world these days. So I just want to take a moment. Let's all put out positive vibes, however you choose to do that, whether it's prayer, whether it's thought, whether it's whatever it is. Everyone just take a moment. The world is crazy. We need to stay sane. I don't think for a lot of us that are affected, I feel very much like an empath. I feel that feel a lot of what's going on, I believe. And there's a lot of suffering out there, and it's a lot of silent suffering. And I think there's no better time to have a craft like diamond painting that we can all lose ourselves in, that we can all relate to one another, regardless of any beliefs that we have. We all love diamond painting, and we all have something in common in this community. There is no time like the present to be blessed with a community of people like you, a craft like this that allows us to unwind and get rid of some of that anxiety from the daily happenings. So let's just all just take a moment, put it out there. Wherever you choose to focus that, I hope that the support is felt, that we're able to, if you can't help in person, that our thoughts, I hate those thoughts and prayers, I hate that, but our intentions, we'll say our intentions are felt out there, and that people feel supported. So thank you everyone for taking a moment to do that. Let's try and maybe do that every live, because I just think there's just something new every single week, and it's everything. So it's everyone's going to have a linkage to it, I swear. But thank you everybody. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hands, the hugs. Oh, that's two people hugging, but they're like purple and something. I don't know. Here I am ruining it. And the peace sign. That's amazing too. But all around the world, support is needed. So thank you everybody. Thank you for joining. I will talk to you again next week. Keep a lookout. I got some more DP 101 coming out. I'll have a whip and chat coming out. All the good stuff. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the new canvas. I can't put out until the 17th. So you'll see that when it gets out there. But go back and watch the lion one, and you can see what we're talking about Narnia. That one's specific because it's like Aslan from Narnia. But thank you, everybody. Bye, Kat. Christopher Kalasa, thank you for stopping in. Gabrielle, I love you as well. Eve says, I'm loving the 101. Thank you so much. The next one is, what do you find in the box? Like, what is your basic tools and what your basic accessories? And I literally open up a couple diamond paintings and go through what's in there and talk about how to use some of the stuff and whatnot. And that's going to lead into, now here's where you can spend the rest of your money. So thank you, everybody. Have a good week. I will talk to you next Sunday. And don't forget, 6 p.m. Central in a half hour, head over to Crashly because it's always a good time over there. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.